person.
Thank you, Ms Harris. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairship this afternoon. I want to start by thanking my honourable friend for Brad Freese for securing this debate. And it's quite clear where I stand on this issue because I co-signed the letter from him late last month. Human rights abuses in Kashmir deeply matters to my constituents in Woking. Over half of them have got ancestry and links with Kashmir of my local Asian population. It's an issue that is fundamental and is raised with me, particularly over the last month regularly. And that's why I'm here to represent them, to ensure that the British government shows some leadership and ensures that civil liberties are returned to normal in Kashmir. The Liberal Democrats and I condemn the reports of excessive and unlawful use of force against the people in Kashmir. For the last 2 years, the government has arrested, banned and clashed with people protesting over flour and electricity costs. In the last month, things have got worse still. These actions have been condemned by human rights groups such as Amnesty International, who have argued that the state has been weaponising anti-terror laws as a legal excuse to crush peaceful protest. Peaceful protesters aspiring for equal rights should never be criminalised. I will give way.
I thank my honourable friend the member for Woking for allowing me to intervene because many of my Slough constituents are deeply concerned about the safety and well-being of their loved ones in Pakistan-administered Kashmir as tensions continue to rise and communications blackouts and obstructions persist. Does my honourable friend agree that it's vital that peace negotiations take place between the relevant parties so that we can ensure an end to the violence and a sustained stability in the region?
I completely agree with my honourable friend for Slough. Britain has got a long history in the region. I believe we can play a force for good for a change in that region to bring about peace, and I will talk about that later. Dictatorships, not democracies, trigger communications blackouts when they do not want to know, when they want to hide what's happening. And I'm afraid that's what's happening in Kashmir at the moment. Removing access to the internet and phone networks are tools of oppression. We've seen that in Iran. I don't want to see that in Kashmir too. The communications blackout demonstrates just how dire the situation has become. I believe 200 people have been killed in the last month due to reports. But because of that communications blackout, we just do not know. British Kashmiris, UK residents with connections there have been cut off from contacting their loved ones, including British citizens currently in the region. Although I want to focus on the immediate issues in Kashmir today, I think it's fair to say a long-term and stable resolution in Kashmir can only be achieved by putting human rights, democratic aspirations and the self-determination of the Kashmiri people at the centre of our foreign policy. We believe that we need a lasting peace, and we can only do that with the explicit consent of the Kashmiri people. For decades, British governments have hidden behind the convenient diplomatic fiction that Kashmir is strictly a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan. The Liberal Democrats and I urge the government to remember its historic and moral responsibilities as the co-author of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 47. The UK must champion the democratic mechanism for a free, fair and impartial referendum as originally mandated under international law. The Liberal Democrats call on the government to reject the unilateral changes to Kashmir's status. We believe that only constitutional reform or future governance structures must be led by and agreed upon those democratic aspirations, and the human rights of Kashmiri people needs to be front and centre. I want to come back to the matter of hand and the concerns with Kashmir right now, and that's why I've got some questions to the Minister. How often has the British government raised issues in Kashmir with the Pakistan government and the High Commission? When was the last time? When they're going to do so again? And when was the last time our Prime Minister spoke to the government in Pakistan? And finally, Ms Harris, what steps is the government taking to ensure that British nationals in the region and British citizens with families there are able to access support and maintain contact for loved ones?